to share my insights of the market with y'all and hopefully help y'all become better informed investors. So salute to everybody that pulled up on me, man. Make sure as soon as y'all tap in, y'all hit that thumbs up like button for the YouTube algorithm to help push this video out further by letting YouTube know that y'all enjoy this content. If anything I've been sharing with you has been informative, helpful, or, just anything like that, drop it in the comment section so I can know, what to double down on, or just let me know if y'all appreciate this information. So here we are. We have our own private investment community, private stock market game. Come join us. We got over 5,000 active investors here sharing memes, sharing, new projects that we're getting in, sharing alerts, sharing, all types of things, and also just engaging as a community. Don't forget to follow me as well on Twitter at DecemberDeMarco, the same way the channel is spelled. We just broke over that 4,000 follower point. Try to help get this up to 5K, y'all. So share this video, tag me in it. Now let's get to this. So now we have this video is basically, some more technical analysis, but the purpose of it is not to do a price prediction right now. I just want to show y'all a few tools and how to use them. So if you look at my screen, let me try to get this up here so y'all can see it. I'll zoom in. So first off, we're holding at we're down 10%. We're holding at 28% range. Shout out to everybody reaching out to the channel. Appreciate y'all. But so I got a few things up. If you can spot some of the indicators that I'm using, drop it in the comment section right now. So I'm using, let me see one. So drop how many of them I'm using. I'm using about 3 of them right now. If you know the indicators that I'm using, drop them in the comment section. So right now we have our Bollinger Bands. We have our VWAP, which stands for Volume Weighted Average Price. We have our RSI, which stands for Relative Strength Index. So here, let me point those out to y'all. So remember, it's a difference between these tools that we're using, like our fib retracement tools versus indicators. So which I guess they could kind of be the same thing, but they're under different locations. So I just want y'all to know that this tab where we get indicators from is here, and where we get tools from is here. So here we have our Bollinger Bands. So I've been teaching y'all in the last few videos, how to use these and to understand what they mean. So our Bollinger Bands let us know when the price is becoming expensive for where it's at. So once it gets up here, the price is basically expensive. So you'll start to see people begin to sell because it's basically too expensive. So once the price falls down to this range around that mid Bollinger Band, that's where the market agrees that it's a good price. Once you see it fall down to this lower Bollinger Band, that's where the price becomes cheap. So that's how to use that Bollinger Band indicator, and it's a little better to see on a smaller time frame, but I want to walk y'all through each of these indicators first before we go to that 1 hour. So right now we're on the 4-hour chart. Now you want to start off, I personally, people do it differently. Some people start small, zoom out. I like to look at the big picture first, look at the pattern that we have, look at the trend, then I zoom in and see if it's confirmed on a smaller time frame. And I continue to walk my way to smaller and smaller time frames, and then you can enter your trade. Like if we were day trading, like if I was trading options like I normally do, then I would definitely be trading on a smaller time frame. I like to trade on the 5-minute to 15-minute when it comes to options. I'll look at the 1 minute as well though. Salute to y'all reaching out. I got y'all as soon as this video is over. Please make sure y'all hit that thumbs up like button to help this video get pushed even further. So also stay tuned. This December I will be having my crypto concert / seminar here in Las Vegas. You do not want to miss it. Stay tuned for those details. So next indicator that we have is our RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. So that's just basically letting us know, is the price overbought or oversold. So what we look for here is for the price to basically to buy the dip. This is what I use this tool for. I use this tool to begin to know when it's going to sell off and also when I should enter my position. So you can see here all the dip areas in the chart. Boom, right here. Notice where the RSI lines up at the dip. Look at the dip area in the chart. Boom. Notice where the RSI area lines up at the dip. So what you want to do is kind of make note of where the buyers start to step back in on this RSI. So you notice around this range here on the 4-hour chart, around that 55, 54, 55, 50, So around or 52, excuse me, around that range, that's when people start to buy. Matter of fact, let me scoot this up just in case y'all can't see that. So here on the RSI chart, you can see right in this range, this is where buyers continue to come in. So it drops. So same thing here, impulse correction. We have a correction to this point, and if you look to the right, we get a 51 on the RSI. What is that? Let me see, 52. So around that 52, we get buyers coming back in, push the price up. Here around that 50, 55 level, 56 level, we get buyers coming back in. Here we get at that 52 level, we get buyers coming back in. Here at that 52, we get buyers coming back in. Here 53 buyers come back in. So what you can start to notice is once it gets around to that 50, that low 50 range, buyers will begin to, buy it up. Now, it's a few different ways that we can determine why, but we can just, this is if you're trying to look to snipe a position. So also, let me move to another time frame real quick after I explain this VWAP. So the VWAP is basically letting us know the overall trend that we're in. So basically, I'm looking for the VWAP, which is this darker line in here. Without all the lines in here, you'll be able to see it. So we can just see from the price. So the VWAP price is here. It tells us it's 29.52. So we're trading just below that. So we want to be trading above the VWAP to know that we are still in a bullish trend. If you hold the VWAP, that lets you know that most likely the price is going to continue to rise up. So right now we are actually below the VWAP. So that's not too good of a sign. I'm not saying that we're going down from here, forever, but it just shows that, the bears have, they taken over for right now. Not completely, but they definitely, they got it. They holding it down right now. So we definitely need the bulls to pull up, man. We need the sheep army to come, make them retreat. They are getting weaker. We can see they're getting weaker. We're getting some higher lows, in this 4-hour time frame. But I'm gonna go in and look at the 1-hour chart too, so it can paint a better picture to us. So also, so we got our Bollinger Bands, our RSI, VWAP trading below that. So we got a few different tools out here. Our Fib time zone tool as well. So I'll show y'all that. So now what this tool does is basically shows you where the next high and low is likely to happen. So it's supposed to basically by time. So it still uses the ratios of the Fib, the Fibonacci ratios, but it's doing it based on time now. So what you're trying to do is look for your swing low to your swing high to determine, when the next one will be. So I'll give y'all an example of this real quick. So if we zoom in here, so I'll take this off so y'all can see it, and I'll put it on again. Okay, so here's our chart looking normal. So what we'll do is grab our time zone tool. So what you want to do is grab it from your swing low, same way you would do with a Fibonacci retracement, and you want to put it to that first swing high. So now what it's doing is measuring the times that it's likely to be at a high point or a low point. So you notice here how every time one of these lines happen, it happens to fall on either a high point or low point. This one's just a little off. It's not all the way 100%, but notice here we're coming right up on that point right now again. So it's looking like we might be hitting the bottom sometime soon right here and holding this middle Bollinger Band. And that's another key sign. Remember, a lot of people, traders that are, because remember, a lot of us are diamond handed sheep, but regardless of that, there's still a lot of people who are day trading it, or trading it at buying it low and selling it high, or buying it low, I should say, and selling it high, buying it low, 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 selling it high. That's what they're doing. So you want to just, what I like to do is just buy these dips. Sometimes, depending on which crypto it is, I do day trade crypto, certain projects, but with sheep, I'm just adding to my bag right now. So we can see that as we get closer to this time frame right here, that it's looking like it wants to, either point out a low or a high to us. So right here, because even notice here, we found a support just about on this right here we found a support right over here before we got some bullish movement. So that technically was a bottom area. So now with us moving along this trend, this downtrend here, right along this mid Bollinger band, I'm expecting us to start to work our way back up, but you know, have our low point right here. Unless we just get an enormous amount of volume that would shoot us up, and you know, the top of the candle would fall, you know, on this line up here. But you know, we got our doji candle at the bottom of a downtrend. Y'all see that happening. You know, we got the impulse trading sideways, a little correction, a little sidewaysness. So we still waiting on a little more price action. But when you see it, when it's a little when it's not too clear like that, for me on the 4 hour, that's when I move to the 1 hour, and it just helps me a little bit more. So this is how you use this tool. I'm gonna move to a different time frame so we see what we see. Okay. So it's kind of close. It's a little off on this one because it's the 1 hour chart and I didn't line it up exactly, but let's see. Let's redo that. Let's take it off. Let's add this again just so y'all can see. So we'll go from our swing low to this swing high right here. Okay, so now let's see what we got. So it's a little off on this one, but when that happens, then just look for a better zoom out again. Look for a better a better base or like a better support, just to see if it lines back up on a 4 hour. Okay, so low point, high point. So it's not 100% accurate all the time, but that's the purpose of this tool. So let me take it off and I'll reset it on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour is a little easier to look at. Let's take these indicators off and then add them each one by one so that way y'all can see. So we'll start off with the Bollinger Band. So I want to show y'all where to find them at first. So you go to indicators, click on your Bollinger Band. So now you see they pop up here. So now what this will help us do is, you notice most times it's not all the way 100% accurate, especially when we're extremely bullish. But what happens is we see impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. And most times people, when it's extremely bullish, it'll trade off this mid Bollinger Band. Buyers will come in here, push the price up, sellers will sell at the top Bollinger Band. You'll see the price fall back down, buyers will come back in, buy it here, push it up. But it was extremely bullish right here. They had a slight sell-off. Bulls took back over, pushed it up again as it went towards this. And you have to remember too, this is what happens. A lot of people know that. A lot of people know these indicators. So what happens is some people will set their targets a little bit before these Bollinger Bands or the mid Bollinger Band or wherever they set it. They'll take profits a little earlier because they know that other people have their take profit at around that same area, and they want to make sure they get out, you know, before the ones that are smart and know how to read the chart. So that's something y'all want to keep in mind too. Just because you know how to read the chart does not mean that that's exactly what's going to happen, because there are smart investors that know that, you know, people like y'all know how to read the chart. So they're waiting, you know, for you to expect it to, you know, let's say you're guaranteeing or counting on it to hit, you know, the top Bollinger Band on, you know, one specific candle. You know, they could be, you know, that setup can be so obvious that, you know, the market makers can shift it, you know, so that that doesn't happen. So that's what I like to look for. I really like to use my Bollinger Bands on a 15-minute chart, to be honest, because with day trading, the trades are a lot quicker. So if you're trading like an option or something like that, you know, it's easier to be on a smaller time frame because you get more movement and you can get out of that trade faster before you get took out. So see how we looking on the 15-minute. We never take a look at the 15-minute chart on sheet. It's looking really, really nice though. A lot of buying opportunities. If you would have been buying in any of these you know, areas where it touched the lower Bollinger band, those were good buying opportunities. Look, touch the lower Bollinger band, touch the lower Bollinger band, touch the lower Bollinger band. Even though sometimes the dip might dip further, but you still bought it in a dip. I think some people get confused about that. It doesn't have to be like the lowest dip on the chart. It just has to be a nice dip, because once it goes above that point, like let's say for instance, let's say when we were on this run up here, like let's say you missed all this area, but then you bought this dip. That's cool, because we know that if it's continued to be bullish, that, you know, once it returns to this price, look, you bought it here. We up here now. So that's the you know, reason why you want to buy those dips. So we add these indicators on top of each other. So next we'll use our RSI. I like this one a lot. So with this one, this is like the best you know, no, I won't say the best one, but this is a really, really good one to use, because it basically tells you when the price is extremely oversold. So what I like to see is prices, once it's underneath that 35 level, a 35 and below is oversold, a 70 and above is overbought. So once it becomes oversold and everybody's you know, basically devaluing or not valuing it enough, and they selling it, that's when the smart investors or smart money comes in and buys it up. So that's what you know, we looking for. We looking for these areas like here. We see, notice where all the low points are. You could put your mouse on there and see 39 range right there. We got 36 right there. We got 35 right there. We got 33 right there. 25 right there. Whoever bought right there got lucky. 34 right there. 33 right there. Notice all those points with the dips are between 33, 34, those areas. So if you see that, that might be a good sign to buy once you start to look at your other indicators. Like, okay, so we had a 35, we're under a 35, or we're, you know, close to it, 36, because it might not give it to you exactly, because it knows that people are waiting for that 35 level. So sometimes it'll go right to 37 and then take back off and turn back bullish, because they know people are waiting to buy in at that 35 level. So y'all have to keep that part in mind. That's some of the psychology of it. So also now, star VWAP. So this is just something I use to see if we are remaining in a bullish trend, or if we are if the bulls still have it. Right now, with sheep trading under the VWAP, that tells me that, you know, the VWAP being 30.53 exactly, with us trading right now at 28.44, that means we're below it. So that means the bears have us right now. They pushed us under the volume weighted average price. So let's see. Let's go back up now to this 4-hour chart real quick. Let me take these other tools off that y'all know how to use those. I mean, excuse me, indicators. We can leave the RSI on there. Okay, let's pull our time zone tool out again. My bad, y'all. So you want to get right on top of it. Okay, that's about as close as I'm gonna get it. But basically, this is to show us, where those low areas should swing to. You notice here. So from starting from here, my bad. So starting from here, our swing low to our swing high, our first one, it shows us that right about here is going to be the high point. This shows us when the trend is supposed to change. So the trend should change at this line. So here you see the trend change. So we going here, you see it's supposed to be, it was going down in a correction, the trend change. So here, you notice once it hit this line at the bottom, and you notice what else did we get here? We got our, remember at the bottom of a downtrend, and we got the doji candle and another doji or hammer candle to confirmation that it's about to go the opposite way. But what also happened, it fell right along this line, and you seen the trend reverse. Then we got a correction. Notice right here we had that support to the impulse right at the top of that impulse, which it wasn't a high peak, but that was the high point right there for that moment, right before that red candle where it went back down. Then you notice here we got impulse, not really much pullback, trading sideways kind of, but it's the correction part, sideways correction, and now we're holding this trend line here. So I'm hoping we just hold this line and continue to move upwards here. But let's see what else we got. So we got to walk along this path here. So it's looking like we will be retesting those three areas later on again. If we continue this bullish trend, if we break back above the VWAP. Now, something that is worrying me, that right here I'm looking at the RSI. I wish the RSI was already a little bit lower, because then we could know, which is technically we are okay, because I forgot I switched time frame, so we're on the 4 hour now. When we were just on that what was that, the 1 hour, I think that's when we were seeing it at the 29s to 30s or whatever. But now that we are on the 4 hour, we can redo that again and look at what levels that we see it pulling back to. So that 53, we see it pulling back to 55, we see it to 52, we see it to 54, and here again we see it to 54. So right now this is a good sign. So notice this is where buyers begin to step in at this same level. So this is good right here. And notice we have a downtrend forming with what kind of candle is this? Drop this candle in the comment section. This is a doji candle. So with the doji candle forming after a downtrend, holding this line as well, we were trading on our mid Bollinger band as well. We got a lot of key supports that tells us that a trend reversal is likely to happen. It does not mean it's guaranteed, but it's likely to continue to want to move along this path here. So hopefully we can break through today to, it's looking like we having some trouble with this 3 range, this 31 range. It's a lot of resistance there. Now we can go back and look at the chart for other reasons why, but we just want to interpret the data that the chart is telling us right now. So also, we come in, I'm not doing it right now, but y'all would come in and throw your support and resistance lines. So we can see right here we're finding some support, we're finding some resistance. Just some key areas to determine where the price is likely to want to pull back to. So these support and resistance zones are, basically like your fib almost. You would use it in that same level to determine, where it's going to possibly pull back to and where you could possibly get a good entry. So y'all notice all these support levels is kind of going up like stairs. So this would be nice right here if it's kind of staircasing. Had a correction right here, but it's still staircasing. So technically we should get another stair here. That would be nice, over this pattern if we complete this pattern. Now, of course, it's never perfect. Something could switch up here, but that would just be real nice though. And we are forming a flag as well. So we got a flag right here. So let's see, okay, I'm not sure where that part just went, but let me grab it again. Oh, that's because I had it on a horizontal line instead of a trend line. So you got to make sure you got your trend lines instead of a horizontal line. So we are primed for a breakout. We are primed for a breakout, but also what our Fib time zone tools tells us. So even if we get a breakout to, you know, the triangle pattern just lets us know we have a breakout, but we are in a bullish trend, so it's most likely a bullish breakout. But it tells us that we have a breakout coming, possibly to the upside or the downside. So at this point, somewhere around this point, I'm thinking we're gonna struggle, you know, for a few days until them Shiboshis drop. You know, not saying like struggle like that, but like not break through this, what is that 35 range. I don't think we're gonna go through that 35 range until we get some new hype, some new news. We need something big, like something equivalent to the Shiboshi drop, something you know, that just gets people excited to get more volume in here. We need to pump this back up. So, you know, diamond hands, y'all, this is a very, very good support area. This is an excellent opportunity to add to your position. This is not financial advice, but if you want to load up right here, I think this might be, you know, the last chance. Imagine if they announce that the Shiboshis drop tomorrow. It's toast. You know what I'm saying? So right now is where, you know, you will want to be grabbing them bags, and it's technically in a perfect dip right here. Yes, it could dip further. You know, we could, you know, look at retracement zones and stuff like that, but we got a lot of support areas. Y'all probably could barely even see all this right now. But I just want to walk y'all through that, show y'all how to use some of those tools in real time. Sometimes, you know, it ain't all perfect. Sometimes you got to walk and, you know, reset a tool up. You know, you got to zoom in, zoom out, look at it again, you know, look at other indicators to determine, you know, to get a better picture, you know, and put that together with, or stack it with what other indicators are implying. And you know, you gotta interpret the data. But that's all we got for this video, man. Continue to tap in, man, and I'll hit y'all with the next one, man. That's all we got. We are out.